Some people do it for shock value. Some people do it for entertainment value. Some people are just assholes, pure assholes. But then some people, yeah, they really do think that they're the foremost expert on every single thing. And I'm thinking of a few names that I won't say, but yeah, it's a lot of people like that.
Yeah. This is guy that I was listening to, and he said that he don't read books of people that he agree with. He read books of the people that he disagree with, because how else is he gonna know that he's wrong? So
I like that.
yeah,
I like
if you listen to everything that you've been taught and you agree with, this is how you model. In order to offset that a little bit, you got to bring some in that you never heard, or something that you really not too fond of, because somebody may be able to articulate a way. You may discover that you're wrong, or you wasn't doing it the correct way. You may have been a little bit off on that.
Right. And let me just reinforce what Sir Hale said. I think it's very important, especially in the beginning of relationships, to set the tone. Whether we like it or not, there's a power struggle, especially in the beginning of a relationship. It's almost like as a basketball player, you boxing out, trying to decide who's going to have position to get this rebound. If you let a person do that at any point, they're going to feel like they can do that at every point. So if you let it fly, they're going to treat you like that all the time. And you're gonna start, especially as a man, you're gonna start to feel like you're the woman in a relationship. So you can't let that fly. I'm not saying be abusive. I'm just saying check that shit immediately. So yeah, don't be
Yeah,
letting y'all women verbally abuse y'all out here in the chat, bro.
like I think that might be one of the examples that Trev might agree with and say that's when men get comfortable, right? Go ahead, Clout. Your thoughts about it, sir?
I agree mostly with what everyone says so far, as far as dealing with over talkers. They can often be like arrogant or narcissistic. But I think one part of the problem that he did address in the video is I think a lot of people don't actually have actual protocols on how to debate correctly. Like I think that like in this country specifically, people are really lacking as far as on the education on how to have a proper debate with someone. And so I think that just awareness and talking about the protocols like he did, because I'm someone who's had several debates in my life, been on several panels, and those tools that he gave to me were like, whoa, those are great tools to make a conversation go well. And sometimes you are dealing with a narcissistic person, but sometimes you're just dealing with someone who's passionate. And when two people are passionate and they're having opposing points, sometimes in the passion, you don't even realize that you're ranting. And then you don't even, and the other person's trying to get a word in edgewise, and you don't even realize that, it feels like they're cutting you off, and it might feel like this whole struggle when really it's that you started the conversation with no parameters to even succeed. Once you're having a debate, we got to set the rules. Okay, cool. Say what you got to say. You got 3 minutes, like he said. I won't say anything. I'll raise my hand. I'll take notes, and I'll give you the opportunity to express yourself. And then vice versa, I get my 3 minutes. I think that if people go into these conversations with these rules in place first, it'll make hard discussions a lot easier to have. So I really think it boils down to like education and training, and just having these rules out there, like on these panels, even just saying it, just putting that out there, just gives people the opportunity to understand. Okay, let me give this person 3 minutes to talk, and then I can interject, or and then we have rules of engagement so that we can set a better tone.
Hey, Cloud, I feel what you're saying, but would you agree that you said that people are passionate sometimes, and I agree with that. But if every time you talk they're passionate, wouldn't you think that constitutes disrespect?
I definitely believe there's a point where it can be disrespect. Absolutely. So I would never argue against that. But I think sometimes when debates do get passionate, people don't mean even to be disrespectful sometimes. It's just like, yo, like I'm on this side and you're on this side, and I'm really trying to express my point to you, but in the heat of it, we're both getting frustrated. And just having those rules gives us something to fall back on, like, hold on. Let me give him his 3 minutes. I got 3 minutes now to cool down and write notes and get my point together, so I don't feel so overwhelmed and feel like I need to express myself in a rush, and vice versa.
So, Klaus, so let me add perspective. So, what we're speaking to is how it should be. In reality, there's a lot of people who just you have the conversation and you think you have a breakthrough, Here's how we're going to talk. We're going to do this. We're going to be respectful. And then you have to repeat it the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. I think it is frustrating to have to continuously repeat yourself to someone about how to respect me in a conversation. Like there was a lot of women
Absolutely.
who don't talk to me like I'm a kid. Lady, you're acting like one. You don't talk to me like I'm in the second grade. Well, ma'am, I questioned what your grade level, because as we're talking, it's like you're listening and you're hearing through your emotions, and you're so impulsive. You're not even responding and reacting to what I'm saying. You're responding to how you feel about what I'm saying.
Right.
And I think the frustration comes in where it's, so let's say you're with a passionate person, and most people who have something to say are passionate. But if I have to say the same thing and you're disrespecting me in the same area, that's just a different level, a layer of disrespect. So now you're over talking me, and that comes off to me as you're being arrogant. And now I got to keep on going back to set a standard, and you just won't get it. And here's the big part is they don't do that to other people. Like at work, they don't do that to people who they care about and want to impress. They don't do that. It seems that they only do it to a man that they are comfortable with. I think that's where the frustration comes in at.
Well, I would agree that once it's habitual, then we would definitely classify that as a character flaw. Like that's somebody that you definitely need to step away from. But I think when it's situational, I think that the tools that he put forth are like a great way to make a conversation go better or make a debate go smoother, by giving each person their time and just going through the steps. Give me a pause, take your notes, and then we can really get deeper that way, and we can really engage, because you'll have a time to process, and I'll have a full amount of time to express myself with the awareness that, hey, I got 3 minutes. I got to say what I got to say concisely, wrap it up, get to the point, and I got to give you the floor at some point. So I agree with everything you guys are saying, though. I just also think in situations where you're not dealing with narcissists, it's great to have those rules of engagement.
Cloud, one more question to what you said. Wouldn't we also have to say it depends on who we're having the conversation with? So, say for instance, a father to a son. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even ain't no reason your son should get passionate and raise his voice and kind of talk aggressive to you at no point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think it also depends on who. If it's a person who should be deferential to you, now some men they classify their woman as somebody who should be deferential to them. So
Oh, right.
they would say
Absolutely.
that there's no room for that person to ever be passionate with them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that matters too, who it is.
I would agree.
And I do want to point this out too, and I think this should be a standard rule no matter how somebody feels, is that you have to realize that people have short attention spans. So when you are talking, you have to keep it like 2 to 3 minute minimum. I don't think most people cannot bear, unless you have a nice tone to your voice. Sometimes you may, or unless you're talking something. So there's some people on the panel that people can listen to all day. But even on the panels, I say keep it short, keep it brief. And you have people that go on these monologues. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at everybody else get irritated and frustrated because they're sitting there patiently waiting because this person been talking for 6-7 minutes strong. Keep it short. You can always come back around. It doesn't have to end. You can keep the conversation going as long as you want. So when you guys are conversing with one another, y'all having that serious talk, be mindful of the listener, because the listener is exercising as much patience as they can. But if your mouth getting dry, you've been talking too long.